When you listen to this, I want you to imagine that you're sitting alone in a quiet room. The world outside is still. There's no chart in front of you, no notifications popping up, no trades running. Just silence, because this is where true trading psychology begins, not at the charts, but inside you. Take a slow breath, and let it fall out naturally. This journey is called Most Traders Lose Here, the psychology of holding until TP. But really, it's about something deeper. It's about learning to sit inside discomfort without running. It's about understanding why your mind wants to exit early, why it panics when price pulls back, and why you exit at break even only to watch the market go exactly where you expected. And to understand that, I want you to step into a story. Picture this. A young trader named Elias sits at his desk late at night. The only light in the room comes from his monitor, glowing blue across his face. He has taken a beautiful entry, clean structure, perfect confluence, everything he has trained for. But price pulls back slightly. Not a reversal, not a break of structure, just a normal reaction. And suddenly, his breathing tightens. His thoughts begin to speed up. What if this reverses? What if I lose what I already gained? Maybe I should just close it now, just to be safe. His finger hovers over the exit button, while his analysis is still perfectly valid. This is the moment where most traders lose. This is the moment that determines whether someone becomes profitable or stays stuck forever. Not at entry, not at analysis, but at holding. Holding is the battlefield, because when you hold a trade, you are not fighting the market, you're fighting your own mind. The urge to close early, the fear of losing unrealized profits, the imaginary future losses your brain creates, the emotions that hit you harder than any candlestick ever could. And this is what destroys traders. So let me slow down here. Take a breath, let your shoulders relax, feel your feet on the ground. Because what I'm about to tell you will change the way you see trading forever. Holding until TP is not about courage. It is not about willpower. It is not even about discipline. Holding until TP is about one thing: your nervous system's ability to stay calm during uncertainty. Most traders fail here because they have never trained their nervous system to sit through a pullback, a retracement, a rejection wick, or a moment of hesitation in the chart. They want the market to move in a straight line. They want the profit to be instant. They want the TP to be hit without discomfort. But the truth is, holding a winning trade is uncomfortable. It always will be. And this brings us to the first psychological truth of this long journey. Your mind hates uncertainty more than it hates losing. Let me explain through a scene, another story, one you've lived before. Imagine you're holding a trade that's in profit. It's floating nicely. Your heart rate is calm. You feel good, but then price pulls back. Not much, maybe 20 pips, maybe 40, maybe just a small candle in the opposite direction. Watch what happens to your emotions. Your body tenses, your jaw tightens, your hand moves closer to the close button. Your mind starts whispering that dark sentence: take it now, before it disappears. This is not about the chart. This is about your biology. Humans are wired to avoid uncertainty. Your brain would rather take a small guaranteed win than wait for a bigger but uncertain one. This is why people choose $50 now instead of $100 later. This is why traders scalp even when they want to swing. This is why they take partials too early. This is why they close trades right before TP hits. So the real question becomes, how do you train your brain to stay calm long enough to let your strategy work? That is what this entire script, these full 3 hours, will teach you. But before we get deep into the psychological rewiring, I want you to hear a story that perfectly captures the problem. Many years ago, a trader named Daniel joined a prop firm challenge. He was disciplined, intelligent, structured. His entries were sharp, his risk management was perfect. On paper, he should have passed the challenge easily. But he didn't, not because he lost trades, not because he overleveraged, not because he broke rules, but because he couldn't hold. Every time price went into profit and pulled back, he panicked. He closed early. He took partials too soon. He exited break even. Meanwhile, every single trade he closed early went straight to TP. Every single one. He didn't fail the challenge because his analysis was wrong. He failed it because his psychology collapsed during the waiting. Now pause here. Breathe slowly. Let that sink in. Most traders do not fail because they lack skill. They fail because they cannot tolerate discomfort. If you learn to hold, everything changes. Your win rate improves. Your risk to reward grows. Your confidence stabilizes. Your strategy becomes more profitable without changing a single rule. Because holding is the unlock. Let's go deeper. When you enter a trade, your brain sees potential. When you are in drawdown, your brain sees danger. When you are in profit, your brain sees opportunity. But when profit pulls back, your brain sees loss, even if it's not a real loss. Even if your analysis is still correct. Even if the market is simply breathing. This is why holding is so difficult. You are fighting a primitive survival instinct inside you. This instinct tells you, take what you have now. Don't let the market take it from you. Secure the profit before it disappears. But that instinct was built for a world where danger was physical. In trading, the danger is emotional. Let me take you into another scene. Imagine you're watching a trade approach your TP. You've been holding for hours. Your analysis is perfect. And then, price slows down. A rejection wick forms against your direction. Immediately, your heart jumps. You think, should I close? What if it reverses now? What if this was the top? And right here is where traders sabotage themselves. Not because the wick meant anything. Not because structure changed. Not because the trend reversed. But because their emotions took over. Holding until TP is not about trusting the chart. It's about trusting yourself. Trusting your plan. Trusting your analysis. Trusting the process you already committed to. Now let me guide you deeper into the psychological truth. When most traders hold a trade, they are not actually watching the charts. They're watching their P/L, they're watching the money amount rising and falling. They're experiencing dopamine and cortisol spikes. They're reacting to numbers, not structure. This is why holding becomes emotional. If you were watching the chart objectively, you would hold. But when you watch the money fluctuate, you panic. So here is the first major step toward mastering the psychology of holding until TP. Detach from money. Attach to process. When you focus on the chart, not the profit, you hold longer. You think clearer. You follow structure instead of emotion. Later in this script, I will teach you a specific breathing method, a mental framework, and a visualization training that reprograms your brain to stay calm during pullbacks. But for now, just breathe slowly. Let your body soften. Let your chest loosen. Because the next part will take you deeper into the core of why traders fear holding. But before that, I want to bring you back into another story. A trader named Malik once told me something that stuck with me for years. He said, I don't lose because I'm wrong. I lose because I'm scared to be right. He meant that he exited too early not out of fear of being wrong, but out of fear that the market would take away the feeling of being right. Think about that. He would rather secure a tiny win than risk watching it disappear. Even if the trade was perfect. This is where most traders lose. Not because they don't know how to trade, but because they don't know how to wait. Patience feels like pain. Silence feels like pressure. Holding feels like torture. But TP feels like freedom. And the only way to get there consistently is to learn the art of being comfortable inside discomfort. The discomfort of watching price breathe. The discomfort of watching pullbacks. The discomfort of sitting through uncertainty. You will learn how to hold until TP calmly. How to stop panicking during pullbacks. How to stop closing early out of fear. How to stop sabotaging perfectly good trades. How to build a nervous system that thrives under pressure. And it all begins with understanding the emotional loop that traps traders. We will break that loop. We will rebuild your psychological foundation. And by the end of this journey, holding until TP will feel natural. Now take another slow breath. Because in the next section, we go even deeper into the core identity of a trader and the psychological transformation required to hold like a professional. Before we go further, take another slow breath. Feel your chest rise and gently fall. Because where we're going now is deeper than strategy. This is the territory where traders transform. I want you to imagine a moment in your trading journey. You've lived it before, maybe last week, maybe yesterday, maybe this morning. You place a trade with full confidence. You analyzed structure. You marked your levels. You waited patiently for confirmation. Your entry is clean, and when the trade moves into profit, a quiet happiness fills your chest. Then the pullback comes. Not a reversal, not a trend shift, just a normal, perfectly healthy pullback. But your mind enters chaos. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your shoulders tense. Your mouse creeps toward the close button. You start imagining losing what you had. Notice that word, had. Even though the profit was never truly yours yet, your brain decides it belongs to you. This illusion is what destroys traders. When price retraces, your brain doesn't think, this is a normal market movement. It thinks, I'm losing something that's mine. And that thought creates panic. Now pause for one moment. Take one slow inhale, hold it, then release gently. This sensation you just felt, that slow exhale, That is the state you must learn to stay in while holding a trade. Calm, slow, neutral. Because emotional neutrality is the foundation of holding until TP. Let me take you into another scene. There was a trader named Rahim who had a strong strategy, incredible entries, perfect analysis. His problem wasn't knowledge, it was fear. One day he placed a trade with a 1-to-4 risk to reward. He watched price go straight into profit. 1R, 2R, 3R, and then it retraced slightly. Not even enough to break structure. Just a gentle pullback. But to Rahim, it felt like a threat. He closed the trade at 1.8R. Seconds later, price exploded directly into his 4R target. He stared at the screen in disbelief. And then he whispered to himself, "Why'd I always ruin my own winning trades?" I want you to sit with that feeling for a moment. Because if you're honest, you know that feeling too. You know what it feels like to exit early. You know what it feels like to watch price hit TP without you. You know the sting of sabotaging your own success. But here is the deeper truth. You didn't sabotage yourself because you're weak. You sabotaged yourself because your nervous system panicked. Most traders think their biggest enemy is discipline. But that's not true. Your biggest enemy is your body. Your body reacts faster than your logic. Your emotions hit you before your analysis can speak. Your fear hijacks you before your plan has a chance. This is why holding is so difficult. Your body thinks it's in danger when profit retraces. Your nervous system behaves as if you're losing something important. It goes into fight or flight mode. And when that happens, you stop thinking. You start reacting. This is why traders who are calm win more often. This is why experienced traders hold confidently. This is why profitable traders trust their plan. They have trained their bodies, not just their minds. Let me guide you into a little exercise. Imagine the chart in front of you. Imagine price is moving in your favor. Imagine the pullback coming. Now feel your chest. Feel the tightness. Feel the urge to react. Now imagine yourself breathing through it. A slow inhale, a long exhale. Your shoulders drop, your stomach softens, your jaw unclenches. You tell your body, "I'm safe." Most traders never speak to themselves like that. But this single phrase, this simple grounding technique, can save your trading career. Now I want to take you into a story that is very important. A trader named Anna was known for having incredible patience. While others panicked, she sat calmly, even during deep retracements. One day, someone asked her, "How do you stay so calm while your trades breathe?" She smiled and said, "I trained myself to see pullbacks as progress, not danger." Those words changed everything for me. Because most traders think a pullback is a threat, but Anna trained her brain to see it as a natural part of the journey. Like the inhale before the exhale. Like the tide pulling back before a stronger wave forms. Like the archer pulling the bow backward before the arrow is released. Pullback, pressure, release, target. Holding becomes easier when you understand this natural rhythm. But the truth is, most traders hold their breath when price pulls back. And what you hold in your breath, you hold in your emotions. Let me illustrate this with another scene, one you'll clearly recognize. It's late, you're watching a trade in profit. It's almost at TP. Just a few more pips. You can taste the win. Then suddenly, a bearish candle forms against you. Your heart drops, your breathing stops, your body freezes. You're no longer watching the chart. You're watching a threat, but if you stepped back, if you zoomed out, you would see that nothing has changed. Structure is intact, trend is intact, your bias is intact, the pullback is temporary, but in that moment your mind imagines the worst-case scenario. Here is why. Your brain is not reacting to the chart. It's reacting to the possibility of emotional pain. The pain of losing what felt like yours. The pain of being wrong. The pain of repeating past mistakes. This fear creates impulsive exits. But the real solution is not forcing yourself to hold. That never works. You can't out-discipline your biology. The real solution is retraining the mind-body connection so that pullbacks don't trigger panic. And we will do that together in this script. But before we go deeper, I want to take you into the mind of a professional trader. The kind who holds without fear. Imagine a trader named Sana. She enters a trade, price moves into profit, a pullback forms. She doesn't react, she doesn't panic, she doesn't close early, she watches structure, she watches key levels, she monitors momentum, but she does not watch her P/L. She is not attached to the money. She is attached to the process. When price breathes, she breathes. When price holds structure, she holds composure. When price hesitates, she stays patient. This level of calm is not natural. It is trained. Sana once said, "I don't hold trades until TP. I hold my psychology until TP. This is the real essence of mastering this skill. Holding until TP is not about holding a trade. It's about holding yourself, holding your emotions, holding your breathing, holding your confidence, holding your plan, holding your presence. Now take one more slow breath with me, because the next part will take you deeper into the subconscious reasons why traders struggle to hold, and the beginning of the true psychological rewiring. Before we go deeper, take a slow breath. Feel your lungs expand and soften as the air leaves your body. Because the part we're entering now reaches the root of why so many traders, maybe even you, struggle to hold their trades all the way to take profit. It has nothing to do with your strategy. It has nothing to do with your broker. It has nothing to do with the chart. It has everything to do with the memories your body carries. Let me take you into a moment you've lived before. You took a trade. It was perfect. You held it confidently. It went into profit. But then, without warning, the market reversed sharply. You watched your floating gains disappear. You watched it hit your stop loss. You felt the sting, not just financially, but emotionally. Your mind tried to shake it off, but your nervous system remembered. Later, on another trade, you saw profit again, and suddenly you felt that same fear rising. Not because the new trade was wrong, but because your body remembered the pain of the past. You weren't reacting to the current chart, you were reacting to an old wound. This is how trading trauma is born. Every early exit, every sudden reversal, every unexpected loss, it leaves a mark inside you. And when a similar situation appears again, your body says, I know what this feels like, get out. Not because it's the right decision, but because your nervous system thinks it's protecting you. This is why it feels so hard to hold profitable trades. You're not fighting the candle. You're fighting your past. I want to take you into a deeper story. There was a trader named Jonah, someone who was known for having perfect entries and terrible exits. He could read the market like a book. He understood structure, liquidity, trend, manipulation. But he could never hold to target. One day, during a conversation, he admitted to something powerful. He said, the reason I close early isn't because I doubt my analysis. I just can't handle the feeling of losing what I gained. And that sentence opened everything. Because many traders don't fear losses, they fear losing wins. Losing something you already tasted hurts more than a normal stop loss. It feels personal. It feels unfair. It feels like the market is disrespecting you. But the truth is, the market isn't doing anything to you. The pain comes from your attachment. You attach to unrealized profits. You attach to the number you see floating. You attach to the idea of what could be yours. And when price pulls back, it feels like something is being taken from you, even though nothing was ever guaranteed. This attachment makes holding painful. And until you let go of that attachment, holding trades will always feel like walking through fire. Let's pause here. Breathe slowly. Let the breath fall out naturally. Now imagine this. You place a trade. You analyze it perfectly. You set your TP. And then you walk away, emotionally. You don't attach to the money. You don't attach to the outcome. You attach only to the process. That emotional detachment is what allows a trader to hold calmly through pullbacks. Now let me bring you into a powerful scene. There was an elderly trader named Hassan. He was calm, quiet, almost impossible to emotionally disturb. In his entire trading career, he had one rule that he lived by. He said, I am not interested in being comfortable. I am interested in being correct. One day, a younger trader asked him, how did you train yourself to hold without fear? Hassan smiled softly and replied, I learned to stop watching the candles. I started watching myself. That line is the hidden key. Holding is not a market skill, it is an internal awareness skill. The more you understand your reactions, the less power they have over you. To help you feel this more deeply, I want to walk you through a moment, a visualization that will train your mind. Close your eyes for a moment if you can. If not, simply soften your gaze. Imagine you're sitting at your trading desk. It's quiet, the chart is clean, your setup appears, you wait, you confirm, you enter. Now picture price moving in your direction. It flows smoothly, you feel calm, then the pullback begins, the candle moves against you. Your body tightens. Instead of reacting, you take one slow breath. Your shoulders drop, your jaw loosens, your hand moves away from the mouse. You watch structure, not profit. You watch levels, not fear. You watch trend, not the number bouncing on the screen. You feel the fear rise, and then fall. Like a wave, because you are not fighting it. You are observing it. This is the moment where professional traders separate from emotional traders. Professionals sit in discomfort until clarity returns. Amateurs run from discomfort and destroy the trade. Holding until TP requires psychological stamina. Not excitement, not motivation, not hype, stamina, the ability to remain calm during chaos, the ability to stay present during uncertainty, the ability to trust logic over emotion. Now I want to tell you one more story, a story that reveals the true reason traders fail to hold. There was a trader named Mira. She was talented, disciplined, patient, but she always closed early. One day she told her mentor, "I can't hold because I feel like I don't deserve the full profit." Her mentor paused. Then he said something that shook her. "The market doesn't pay you because you deserve it. It pays you because you endured it." Read that again. The market doesn't reward the smartest trader, or the most experienced, or the most analytical. It rewards the trader who can endure discomfort. Holding until TP isn't about intelligence. It's about emotional endurance, and endurance can be trained. This script, these hours, are shaping that endurance inside you. But before we move on, breathe again. Slow, gentle, quiet, because the next part will take you into the deep subconscious fears that keep traders from holding, and how to dissolve them permanently. Before we finish this journey, take one more slow breath. Because where we're going now is the ending, the part where everything you've learned, everything you've felt, everything you've struggled with, comes together into something clear and unshakable. You've walked through fear, through hesitation, through self-sabotage, through the invisible pressure that pulls traders out of trades too early. But now we go into the final truth, the truth that transforms traders forever. Holding to TP is not about being fearless. It is about being willing to feel fear and hold anyway. Fear doesn't disappear with experience. Pain doesn't vanish. Doubt doesn't evaporate. Your nervous system doesn't suddenly become silent. No, winning traders don't remove emotion, they carry it with them. They enter the same uncertainty you feel. They see the same pullbacks. They watch the same candles. They feel the same pressure. But they don't abandon themselves. And that is the difference. Most traders betray themselves. They betray their plan. They betray their own logic. They betray their own patience. They betray their own setups. Not because they're weak, but because they never learned how to stay present when discomfort rises. Holding until TP isn't about predicting the market. It's about managing yourself. Let me take you into a final story. There was a trader named Elias. He had been trading for years, losing account after account. He wasn't stupid. He wasn't undisciplined. He simply didn't trust himself. One day he sat across from his mentor and said, "I know the market. I know setups, but I can't hold through the pain." His mentor looked at him and asked, "Do you think the market owes you certainty?" Elias shook his head. His mentor leaned forward and said softly, "Then stop expecting comfort. Comfort is the enemy of mastery." That sentence rewired him. The next trade he took, price went into profit, and then pulled back. His heart raced, his hands shook, his stomach tightened, but instead of escaping, he breathed. Instead of panicking, he stayed. Instead of closing early, he trusted the plan he built when he was calm. And the moment price returned to direction and tapped his TP, he didn't scream, he didn't celebrate, he didn't jump. He sat still, breathed out, and whispered. So this is what holding feels like. Not excitement, not adrenaline, not victory, but quiet confidence. That is the reward for holding. Not just the money, but the maturity, the emotional strength, the mastery of yourself, the ability to remain steady in uncertainty. Because in this market, the one who stays calm wins. Now imagine yourself months from now. You sit at your desk wearing headphones. Your chart is open, your zones are marked, your bias is clear, you enter your trade, your stop is clean, your TP is logical. Price moves in your favor. You smile gently, a pullback forms, you breathe, you feel the pressure, but it doesn't control you. You feel the urge to close, but it doesn't move your hand. You feel the old memories of losing, but they don't define you. You remain present, you remain centered, you remain patient, and when price finally moves, breaking structure, continuing trend, and tapping your take profit, you exhale, you lean back, not shocked, not surprised, not emotional, just proud, because you didn't just hold the trade, you held yourself. That is the true essence of trading. Not candlesticks, not indicators, not strategies. It is you. You are the strategy. You are the discipline. You are the psychological foundation. You are the reason your trades succeed or fail. Holding until TP is not about doing more. It is about doing less. Less panicking, less staring at candles, less reacting, less self-doubt, more breathing, more patience, more presence, more trust. Now take one final slow breath. In through the nose, hold, and release gently. Let this breath mark the moment where your trading psychology changes permanently. From this point on, you will still feel fear, but you will not obey it. You will still feel tension, but you will not collapse under it. You will still feel uncertainty, but you will trust your plan anyway. Because the market will always test you. That is its nature. But you have learned how to hold, how to wait, how to stay calm, how to endure discomfort, how to remain the master of yourself. And that is what makes you profitable. Not luck, not hype, not hope, but the quiet, unwavering power of holding until TP. And now, you're ready.